Discernment for me is the basis and the foundation of mission. So what we've tried to do is promote a center where there is a focus on prayer, a focus on the discernment of the call of God. How is the Spirit of God working in this day and age?
The fact that we still exist since 1918, and after all that, the things that have happened over the last number of years, is an indication that the Spirit has heard us in our prayer and has kept us going.
We're called out into the world, but we're also called inside. And it's like discovering that God's primary language is silence, and that somehow in the silence, the boundaries that we create between each other disappear.
At Scarborough Missions, prayer is an integral part of the life of the community, both in the way that Scarborough's priests and lay colleagues stay in touch with the spiritual meaning of their work together, and also in the way that they reach out to the larger community to assist people in finding new ways to enrich their prayer life.
And I'd invite us to begin with the opening prayer, a reflection of Archbishop.
Whenever we have a chapter, which is a meeting where we elect our new administration and we also set out directions and priorities for the coming number of years, that process is always a prayerful process. We also have others come who are welcome to use the facility, and they arrange the programs. For example, the Zen meditation. Sister Elaine McGuinness is a wonderful Canadian woman religious who has been responsible for an incredible program over the years. She's a Roshi, a Zen master, who has reached a level where she gives retreats to Buddhist monks, but she's a religious. I began doing Zazen in 1975 under her tutelage, and I've been doing it ever since. But one of the things, at least unexpected things for me, has been something that's developed over the years in doing Zen meditation and reading Zen material. I've realized that it's another way of reading the Gospels. There's so much in the Gospel of St. John. It reads like a Zen tract, you know. The Father and I are one. You are one with me, and I am one with him, and we will come and be one with you. And it's just all over the place in John's Gospel. Zen is directing you towards an experience. It's calling us to reread the Gospels, not with our head, but with our heart. We have different prayer experiences. We try to open it up to any kind of a religious, prayerful experience that would place people in that context of discernment of the will of God.
This centering prayer practice, as passed down by the Trappists and Thomas Merton, is not really a technique. Think of it as more of a way of entering into a deep relationship with the sacred. You can't do it wrong. There are 4 steps. The first thing you do to practice this tradition is choose a sacred word as a symbol of your intention to consent to God's presence and action within. For example, you might choose Jesus, Abba, God, Mother Mary, love, peace, let go, faith. Second guideline, you're invited to make yourself really comfortable. Eyes closed, settled, silently. And inwardly introduce this sacred word very gently. The third stage, or guideline. When you experience yourself getting distracted, engaged with your thoughts, return ever so gently to your sacred word. It's impossible to get rid of thoughts, but just let them go. And finally, the fourth guideline. At the end of the prayer period, which is usually about 20 or 30 minutes, we come in silence into this great mystery, we begin to savor how intimately we're connected to one another and to all that is.
At Scarborough, priests and laity are on a path of discovery in their prayer lives, finding a way to add new practices to enrich existing forms of prayer. In fact, the so-called newer forms actually draw on the early days of the Christian Church.
It's kind of new, and might even think, oh, this is New Age, but it really is Old Age, and from the Desert Fathers and the prayer life of Jesus, may they be one. I mean, it's all there, but we've lost it as Catholics, and we're just reclaiming it again.
Scarborough Missions today is a center of interfaith understanding as well as prayer. It is not surprising that, as it brings together people of many faiths, learning to understand each other, that there would be an exchange about the different ways of prayer, and that there would be ways for people of different faiths to now pray together.
And every time you hear a sound, imagine like a drop of water that it touches you in your forehead. We'll do that aloud, and we'll do it.
You discover the unity in the silence. Yeah. And we've had Hindus and Muslims and Jews and Sikhs all in one room in silence. Oh my God, that takes you to a level of where the Spirit's at work.